Hello everyone, welcome to NavPy course. So today's session we'll be learning about how you have to create an array using the existing data. So the first thing, with the help of existing data, it can provide a various way to create your particular array. So how this is the three ways how we have to create a array using our existing data. So first one, it will be a numpy dot as array. As we know that whenever we work with the array creation, we are moving towards the numpy package. So the first way how we have to create using as array method. So in this particular methods, we are having some parameters what we follows. The first parameter will be following going with the input data. So whatever the input data is there, we are moving to the first parameters. Those are nothing but your parameter. Remember that these are parameter. So first thing is your input data. Next move to your D type. What is your data type? It will be taking the data types. Third, it will be moving towards the order. What will be the order of this particular array? So if you take as a syntax, how it's taking numpy dot as array, then moving towards to this, we are taking your input. It should be a or anything variable. Then move to your d type, and then it will be the order, which order you want to access it. So this is the first way how we have to use a first method for creating a array using our existing data. Now move to the from buffer. So next method is basically used for the buffer or buffering method. We can call as a buffering method as well. Here what happened, whenever we use this method to create our array, it interrupts a buffer in one dimension. So it will interrupt our methods in our 1D, and suppose any object in a sudden of time it's occur. So what it will do, it will do the ND array, that is your n dimensional array. So that is the use of your buffer. Now as I told you, in the first method also has a parameter, the same way from buffer also has a parameter to follow. So it also has a parameter to follow. So it has the first parameter, as usual it will be buffer. Then move to the second parameter, it has data. And then the third parameter, it follows with the count, and then offset. Now whenever we use a buffer, means because we are using this particular method, so it's a compulsory thing. So you can note on that, it's a compulsory thing to use. Now d type or d type data means you can go with integer, float, string, whatever the data types you want to use for this particular array to create. If you are using a float array to create, you have to go through the floats. If you are using integer array to create, you have to go with the integer. Now move to count. It's depend upon the requirement, depend upon the code. When you creating, the count will be 1, 2, -1, 3, and then comes to offset. If it is offset, nothing is there, then 0. Now move to bit there, move to 1. So that is some parameters what we follow whenever we use a from buffer. Now how we have to take it, or you can take as how the syntax will be work with the numpy dot from buffer to create a normal array. You have to follow it with the numpy dot from buffer, and then your parameters. So first one, as usual, buffer, then moves to d type. Suppose I'm creating an integer type, go with int, and then count. So you have to give the count value. For now I'm giving count value 2, and then offset equals to 0. So this is how we have to use a from buffer method to create an array in a numpy. Let's move to the third method, how we have to work on the form meter method to create a particular array. So using form meter method also you can create an array. So basically the form meter is used as an iterable object. So remember that it is used as a iterable object. Iterable means it's repeated times, like it will be continue till the last statement. like repeat that or repeat till last statement. We can call as iteration method also. Like your, you can take example or like your for loop. How for loop is working, it's repeating the things. So for meter also used for that particular purpose. It also follows some parameters. So it also follows some parameters. First, I told you it's a iterable, so it will be following the iterable method first, then move to your D type. After that, it comes to your count. So that is the way how the form meter will mostly used for. Now, remember whenever you use this method, how we are using, the way of using is numpy, because whenever we are creating array, numpy is compulsory. Form meter, and then you are moving towards to the parameter. I will give in downside the parameters. This is your iterable comma D type. It's depend upon the condition which type you are using, and the count value, the value of the count. So this will be your parameter you have to follow. Now here I use numpy, but it's depend if you starting, if you import numpy, import numpy as np, that particular time you can use this alias name. Just you have to go with np dot as array. The same way np dot from buffer, and then np dot formatter. Because whenever we use this particular alias name, that time you're going with this. If not, you can go with numpy. So this is the way how we are using the existing datas to create an array. Those are all the existing datas, and those are the ways, how the different methods we can take, as those are the different methods to create this particular thing. So I hope you are clear with the theoretical aspect. Let's move to the practical way. So let's